What's going on, y'all? We back with another one. This one right here, I'm gonna just jump into it because I know y'all seen the video. If anybody got a phone, anybody been aware, y'all done seen the lady go viral. If y'all haven't seen this lady go viral, you're gonna see it in this video. But the lady representing her obviously feels like freedom of speech mean like you can say anything. So when you can say anything, my question is this, y'all, honestly, and I know it sounds ignorant. I could probably Google it and look it up myself. But I'm asking y'all, because if she allowed to do what she allowed to do, what's a hate crime? Mind you, I'm so P. You can call me this word, man. I'm gonna just only because I got some mixed kids, and I know not to be funny, Caucasian, white, whoever. I don't see color. I got a homie who white. That's we gonna die best friends. But what I'm saying is, like, when is it okay to not be okay to do some of these things? Because y'all allowed to do a lot of stuff, like, and now there's certain things called hate crimes, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know what a hate crime is for real. So I know, like, if a person tried to do a hate crime on me because I was black, I wouldn't even know what the fuck it is. To be honest, excuse my language, but I wouldn't know. Like, you just gonna call me nigga, and then excuse my language. And again, bro, it's not gonna get me on my body because I know that's what you want, for real. In all honesty, I know you want me to put my hands on you. I know you want me to make it lead up to something else. So I've learned how to not let that word trigger me. Yeah, it's other words and other things you can do, but I just know that when people say that word, you're not doing nothing but to try to trigger me and get a rise out of me. And it's not a word you can call a Caucasian person that's really not actually degrading. Like, all the degrading words that they have for Caucasian people, black people, if y'all didn't know, they're not nothing but giving them better terms and higher up terms, like massa, cracker, like all of them bad things that you want to call people, like honky, all of them negative things, they all mean actual, like, effed up things to us, towards us. So, like, we don't even want to call them that. So we gonna get into this video, my bad. Like I said, I ain't trying to take hell of y'all time, because that ain't what I'm here for. What I'm here for is I want to know how y'all supporting something like this, and how is it okay to be doing something like this. And on top of that, we got it from her page. So you ain't got to go to her page and give her the ads and the views, because I'm with y'all. And then on top of that, why would she only got 5,000? She got like 6,000. She ain't even got 6,000. Well, I ain't gonna give her the credit say she do, but she almost got like 6,000 subscribers. We're not finna go to her page and watch it. We're gonna watch it right here. With her in the corner, right here.
Shamedly, and you will
well, go
not
on then,
have
say it. Say the N word, go on.
No.
No.
I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term.
My bad, y'all probably didn't hear a lot of that. I
I'm the
hope you
victim
did.
of it.
Well, as you can see there, the black is, in typical chimp fashion, he is chimping out. Y'all stop.
What does that mean, chimping out? Again, lady, just curious. I'm gonna be doing a lot of stopping on this one. Y'all gonna be conversating with. She said chimping out. I'm pretty sure that means like acting a monkey. Lady, I've been to the zoo a few times. You've probably been to the zoo a few times. I still ain't seen a monkey or a gorilla or an orangutan or any animal shape of form involved to a human. I haven't. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I've never seen what they're saying, a primate evolve into a human. I haven't seen it. And I'm pretty sure, just saying, if I'm wrong, please let me understand, people, white people too, not trying to be offensive. If black people came from monkeys, where did white people come from? Polar bears? That don't make sense, bruh. We all evolve, like, we're just different pigments. That's it. The pigment of our skin is what makes us different. That's it. So what I'm asking is, if we acting like Negroes and acting like monkeys, what do y'all act like? Civilized people? Because when you break down the statistics of all the blacks do this and the whites do this, bruh, no offense, and white people, let's keep it 1,000. No, we're not going to talk about schools. We're going to talk about the logistics of everybody do something. This girl in this video got a a family member that she don't even talk about, that's irrelevant to her whole family, she don't talk about them. Why not? Because it would taint the image. All I'm saying is, bro, like, of course that we have whites, Mexicans, browns. It doesn't, the color does not play, pigment of skin does not play a factor on how a human does something. Because every pigment, every color pigment has broken the law and done something they weren't supposed to do. Pigment does not play a factor. That's what makes me mad. I'm a person, like I said, I grew up not looking at color. She finna get into some deep stuff, because I listened to like the first 3 minutes, just the first 3 minutes. She finna say niggas after this, which is hella crazy. But after that, I'm just confused, like, if we are chimping out, it's like I said, like, so you say, my question is, so if we came from monkeys, where did Caucasian peoples come from? Because again, we're all, and nothing really changes us except the pigment of our skin. So, did we all come from monkeys, or did y'all come from a different animal? And if so, that's like saying every pigment came from a certain animal at this point. Because why is it, doesn't make sense. How is it that only, I don't know if it's mankind or African American. Which one is it? Is it mankind came from ape or primate? Or is it only African Americans? Like, make it make sense. I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense.
Behave. Niggas, you better behave in the chat, okay? I'm not even joking.
My question is, how many people did she have in the chat? Because she don't even got that many subscribers. Ain't nobody really paying attention to her. So why are you trying to be funny about the situation? I don't want to know where you live, but I want to know, like, what state do you live in? Like, is it predominantly like Caucasian? Like, what type of environment do you live in? Because shit, you talking about you don't want to live next to niggas. Neither do I. What you don't know, a lot of African Americans don't want to live by us. Not because of we act or how we act. We love how we act. It's just what's around us and how certain people act, like you said, certain individuals. But that don't make the, like, bruh, like, I don't know, like, we all act the same. Like I said, the pigment of our skin don't play a factor. Like, if you only knew how many Caucasian people love me and I'm not their color, that doesn't matter. They don't see color. Like, my name can be Joshua. I can be Ted, Timothy. My name can be Timothy next door. Timothy White can be my name, or Timothy Green can be my name. They talk highly about me. Whole time I'm a whole black person. You like, what the? Color don't play a factor. You talking about this, that, and the third. Like, nah, chill out, lady. What kind of black people do you live around? Do you live in Chicago? No offense to Chicago, but maybe that's why. And I know some Chicago people that tell me, like, Chicago is not that bad. So I don't know, because I've never been there. I've only been in O'Hara for a layover. I ain't never like that, you feel me? So I couldn't tell you.
All right, we're on YouTube today. We're being good. I don't want to hear it. So that was the promo. That was the promo, and that was kind of funny. But let's get into it, shall we? Because again, I haven't even watched this.
Recent stories in the US have laid bare the shocking levels of racial division in American society, amplified by extreme and viral takes on social media. 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony is a black teenager charged with stabbing a white boy to death at a school track meeting in April. More than $600,000 in donations have poured in, not for the victim's grieving family, but for his alleged killer. Last week, Shiloh Hendricks went viral after a video showed the young mother racially abusing a 5-year-old, allegedly for stealing from her young child.
Call him a child? Did you call the child word? It is my own business. You call him a... Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again?
Fuck you.
Huh? Alright, that's what you say.
You'll go digging through people's shit, you dumb fuck.
Nobody digging through your shit.
A little fucking kid just did, you dumbass.
That little kid, you call him the little child?
What if he acts like one?
Let's
Are
go
you
like
about
this.
to
I
hit
like
him? You
this
chase him
better.
here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child 5-year-old.
Well, as you can see, Hendricks doesn't deny using the slur. In fact, she repeats...
By the way, she's the GOAT for that, okay? Everything she said ruled. She's the GOAT. Obviously, I'm on her side. How could you not be? Like, what lame losers are not on her side? Like, imagine not being on her side. It's just like, that's just so lame to not be on her side.
...it many times.
My question is, not to be funny, because I'm going to be biased and not big. I mean, I think that means like you biased and you pick a side. I'm going to be unbiased. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking for right now. I'm a little high, not going to lie. But what I'm saying is I'm not going to pick sides. I'm not going to pick sides. What I'm saying is this. For her to say, her right here in the corner, right here on the right, for her to say, or left, whatever, she's the GOAT. Go out for her, this, that, and the third. I don't condone bullying. I don't. Like, I understand, like, listen. Maybe this is the problem for me. I got 4 kids. Give me some kids, I'll adopt some. You feel me? I'm a big ass kid. I like kids. I'm a big kid. So I understand the situation that transpired because a child took something from your child. So that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm not going to act like that don't make sense because depending on what child it is, you feel me? Hey, go get your shit back. Don't let nobody bully you or don't let nobody let you take your stuff. You feel me? Now, if you guys are playing together and you guys are doing stuff together, that's different. Like, you know, I got a kid named Little. Little is like, she used to have a little girl that she used to hang out with. That was her partner. Like, you feel me? That was her homie. Like, they building forts together. They got dog houses. Like, but the problem was we lived in an apartment complex, but you had to cross like in a street to get inside the it's in the same complex, but you had to cross the street to get to her side of the complex. So my daughter would either cross over there or vice versa, because you know they didn't care. They hung out so much. But if you playing together, that's different. Is what I'm saying. But to have something snatched from your child, you kind of just, I don't know, there's ways you do it. You kind of just go at the child and be like, hey, listen, I understand that you might want to play with this, even if you're not one of the people who let your kids, like, you feel me? Because I'm going to tell my kid, like, hey, bro, you don't even understand how less fortunate that kid is. I always want you to understand, and I always teach my kid that, and I'm not fortunate, so don't look at me like I'm a YouTuber and I got money, because I don't. I wish. Y'all don't even get commercials with me. I don't even get no ads. So I let you know I'm not getting nothing. I do this because I like to do it. So when they come to my kids, I always want to let them know that there's someone who can be less fortunate than you, no matter the situation. And my kids is less fortunate. So if I know that for my kids, and I know I got to play that role, I don't ever know what their parents is going through. So for me to not know what the next person is going through, I don't want to do that. So hey, let them play with that. Let them rock with that. When it's time to go, you feel me? Or before they leave, we'll recuperate it. You feel me? We'll get that back. You feel me? We're not gonna let them confiscate it from you though. But to go out and just woo 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 and woo woo woo, that's a kid at the end of the day. And if somebody came and did that to my kid, mother or father, I'm gonna come up and step up to that mother or father and let you know, hey, I would appreciate it if you didn't yell at my kid like that. That's not your child. I know how do you feel me? I apologize if my kid did something wrong, but you don't go at my child. They have a parent. Now we can teach, you know, and that's part of the learning because we were kids too, and I understand that a lot of adults forget that. That's the funny thing to me is me being a big kid as an adult. I've realized that a lot of adults they forgot that they were children once and that they're raising children, but not realizing what it was to be a child. And it sucks because, yeah, as kids, we didn't get away with a lot of stuff, certain stuff we wasn't supposed to do. But then if you remember going to certain people's houses, like grandma's house, and we didn't get in trouble for a lot of the things we didn't get in trouble for because you weren't really supposed to be in trouble for. Our parents are just strict, and there was nothing wrong with that. But now it's to the point where, like, you're trying to be strict on someone else's kids, and that's not someone else's job. It's not that era no more. And maybe back in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s, you could do all of that. It's not that era no more. And that's crazy because I just named 4 different eras. But it's not like that no more. So just imagine you really just running up to somebody's strange kid and going bad on them. Nowadays, kids is going bad on you too. Respectably, when I grew up and somebody did that and somebody mama did that to me, I'ma respect their mama. My mama always told me, my grandmother, my pops, everybody around me, my grandparents let me know that no matter how old they are, you gotta respect them. They might be cutting into you. You respect them. You don't go turn the cheek and woo woo and cuss behind your. You don't do that. You wait till then you say yo Dougie. But you in front of them, you don't do that because that's still your elder at the end of the day. They've been here longer than you. They didn't pay their tithes. They did some things. It's a reason why they here, why you here. But people fail to realize that somewhere along the line that was forgotten. What I want, and we're going to talk about it in this video. I'm going to keep playing it. But I want y'all to Google something. Find something for me. Where are the boats at that we came on to America? Where are those boats at? Where they at?
That's all the stuff is bleeped out when a bystander in the park follows her with his smartphone. Hendricks set up a fundraiser on the same website as Carmelo Anthony's supporters, on which she wrote, "I called the kid out for what he was." Incredibly.
W. What a W. W Shiloh. Dude, she just gets better. Every time I watch the video and like read her post, it just gets better and better.
That campaign has now raised more money than the first one, surpassing $655,000 at the time of taping the show. Well, the boss of the website, Give, Send, Go, is accused of facilitating brazen racism on a platform whose motto is "Money is temporary, Jesus is a."
This is as dumb of an argument as people who are like, "I can't believe it." They'll get mad at a creator because somebody in the comments said something rude, like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't control that. I just offer the platform and they comment whatever they want." This is so stupid. Oh, boo-hoo, somebody commented something mean. Have you checked out the comments on the fundraiser for Carmelo Anthony? Basically, like they're celebrating the. I literally don't know what I can and cannot say on YouTube. This sucks.
Eternal. He will join me later.
It don't matter what you can and cannot say because a lot of what you saying don't make sense. Because again, I'm not picking sides. What little bruh did at the school didn't make it right. It wasn't right. I'm not saying, because I'm a black kid. I'm a black kid. Let's start here. I'm not finna antagonize nobody, bro. I know what it's like. I've done it before. I'm not gonna fake you like, oh, I don't know what it's like to be him. I've been in that man's shoes. In his exact shoes. Why I told that man, come outside. We inside the gym. They out in the football field. I'm in a basketball court. I'm telling that man, come outside. Meet me outside. I need it. Could have been stabbed. My stupid self could have been stabbed. But you're not thinking about stuff like that. You just feel like something transpired and you felt disrespected. For you to feel that way and you defending something, you weren't in that little boy's shoes or another little boy's shoes that were killed. You're just defending him, which I understand. But you're not understanding. It's not about color. It's about 2 teenagers who really just had ego problems. That's what it's about, not color. I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest. What if it was another white kid who stabbed another white kid? We wouldn't be politicking. It wouldn't be a race, whatever. None of that. It would be, it probably wouldn't even been talked about. Because it was a whole other stabbing that when the female did it, and no one's talking about that because they still worked up about this. What about the stabbing after this? What about the 2 females? Ain't nobody talking about that. Y'all already know about that, huh? See what I'm saying? So why is this so special? At the end of the day, it was 2 teenage boys who got their testosterone built up on you, get out of my spot, and you, I'm not going nowhere. Well, I'm finna handle this, and I'm gonna handle this. That's what it's about. 2 teenage boys sticking their chest out, thinking one bigger than another, and one got deflated. It's not about color. Color has nothing to do with this. Do you know how many? Listen, man. What I want you to do is this. Because you said it. We're going to play it. And you said it, though. You feel more comfortable being around Caucasians. So I want to ask you this. How many Caucasians have you noticed actually carry knives? Don't say, oh, it's because of whatever reasons. That's not what I asked. I don't want your rebuttal. I don't want a rebuttal. And we know you got rebuttals. You should work at a call center on the side because you're probably great at rebuttals. We're not asking for that. I'm asking you, ma'am, how many Caucasian people do you know carry a knife? Because I know several. It's just there. They just carry a knife on their side. I know a lot of people. Again, like I said, I don't see color. I got a homie, my partner Tommy, is Caucasian, as white as he can get. I love him to death. He the godson of one of my kids. That boy, wherever we go, he got a knife on him. He's got a knife. Little knife, big knife, medium knife, don't matter. And you know what's crazy? It's come in handy. Not to kill anything. For what he might use it for. I might need to open a box. We might go to to the jungle or somewhere where it's woodsy out, and it's necessary. But a lot of people do it. I don't. You will never catch me with a knife. Not unless I'm inside of the kitchen. It's the only time you're going to see a knife in my hand, when I'm in the kitchen. You ain't even going to see a knife in my hand at the birthday party cutting the cake. You're not going to catch me with one. So what I'm asking you is, why are y'all putting color into it when color has nothing to do with it?
Liberals say this is exactly what they've been warning about, that the post-BLM backlash and the crushing of DEI has provided a fig leaf for outright bigotry. Conservatives were similarly outraged by the support for Carmelo Anthony, an alleged murderer who's been glorified by some as a victim of a racist system. We're here to debate all this as the host of the Fresh and Fit podcast, Myron Gaines, the host of Night School on YouTube, Martin Lamont Hill, Lilly Gaddis, a social media commentator whose video defense of the N-word mother has so far been viewed millions of times on X. Columnist and author Ricky Schlott. Welcome to all of you. Ricky, look, my take on this is a stain on all their houses, right? I just don't know what is happening to society when you have such vast sums of money being raised for what seems to me to be deliberate, racially charged, motivational reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're fighting ugly with ugly right now, and I think this level of racial
Okay, Mom. Okay, teacher. I don't even understand, to be honest, why she was even here. Like, they should have had somebody else. They should have had me and Myron. They knew they were going to get a lot of heat from me and him. They should have had this black guy and then another radical, you know? But this girl is like a teacher. That's like, Mom, okay, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Nobody wants to hear that, okay? That's why we graduated and we've moved on. We're adults now. We don't want to hear that, okay? So I honestly don't even know why she was there.
Tribalism and hostility is just simply not sustainable in such a diverse democracy like America. I think it's, one is really a reaction to the other. I think both campaigns are really hideous, and I think we're showing our ugliest colors. I mean, in the scheme of things, these are small sums relative to the population of America. But you do see, I think, a really tremendous explosion of ugliness and racial hostility that I think that we should all be ashamed and embarrassed of.
Yeah, I mean, you described it, I think, in one of your posts as genuinely, is this a psyop? This would be the best $1 million invested by a foreign adversary to start a race war in America. And I knew exactly what you get.
Are you? Dude. Okay. Some people are so stupid. They can't stand the idea that this is like an organic movement, so it's everybody's conspiring together. They dress Shiloh up, okay? And she's actually working with the Somali African, and it's actually an elaborate way that China or Qatar can funnel money to the United States. That's what's going on. And they're just using all these dumb racists who are buying the PSYOP. Please. Really? Like, be a little bit more creative. This is, I mean, come on, guys.
Getting at, because many of the I think the comments have now been suspended actually on both of these funding.
I mean, I don't know what they're doing in the guitar, but they are doing something in guitar. And I know a lot of y'all probably never even heard of it. It's a place. But they is doing something out there because they've been going back and forth. The Air Force and the Army and them, they have been going back and forth hella much back into guitar. And I've been noticed that. So something is going on. She's not wrong about that. I'm not gonna say she's wrong about that. She's definitely right about that. Something's going on.
Pages, because people were quite obviously deliberately misusing them to post.
No, I talked to the guy quite frequently who set up the whole fundraiser, and he said the reason why they had to turn off the comments was because black people were organizing protests to try to get her funding frozen, and they were going to use the comments as a loophole to get it banned because it would be considered like inciting racial hatred. That's why they took the comments down, because black people were conspiring together because they're just mad that they only have to settle with their EBT card and they can't get this kind of money. They're just seething because she's making money and they're not. Okay, that's the bottom line here. But that's the insight into why they actually turned off the comments. Had nothing to do with hate speech. It was about protecting the money, so Shiloh actually gets it. So that's a W.
Race.
See, now I'm confused. This is the confusion, right? Because you said that. You said it, not me. I'm just listening. But they said statistically that there's more people of your color with food stamps than there is my color. That's what the statistics say. That's what they say. They say that there's more people of her color on assistance than my color. So I don't really understand why you would use that for an example. Because again, it's not about that. It's the black people are mad because somehow, some way, I don't know how. I'm not gonna say we, because I'm not part of the Texas or whatever, wherever this stemmed from. I'm not from there. But I don't know what transpired this to be a color situation. Because, again, let's just be real. If you went to a high school, whether it was a preppy school or not, you probably seen someone fight someone who wasn't their same race. It's possible. It had probably nothing to do with race. So I don't understand, like, my mom went to a Catholic school and got into it with someone. Like, it doesn't matter where you go. And this was an all-girls school. Like, so it doesn't really matter where you are, what you do, how this scenario happens. You just, like, people in this world are either like each other or don't. They either get along or they don't. Racism has nothing to do with it. The color has nothing to do with it. Having the Eat Big Tonight card, the EBT card, has nothing to do with it. Quite frankly, I'm going to be 1,000. I don't think people really care if the lady get the money or not. I'm not going to care. Give it to her. Give it to her. I don't care. I know some black people like, what? Bruh. What it's going to do to us at the end of the day? It's not going to benefit us. It's not going to do nothing. It's not. We still going to live our same life. We still going to be doing the same stuff right now. It's not going to hurt us or benefit us. I don't care. Give her the money. So what? She called the baby an N-word. Cool. Let's move on from this. Not saying like it's cool. I'm not saying that either. But what I'm saying is, it's people like that. And as if you a person like me, you've already accepted it's a lot of ignorant people in the world, and that's what it is. They're raised that way. They brought up that way. That's all they know. Like this girl we watching, she clearly doesn't know any better. Not like, oh yeah, this is what it is. She hasn't picked up a book, a history book, since fucking, excuse my language, history class. She know the basics. She know George Washington was our president. She know Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. She knows what's in the textbooks of what she's been taught. She don't know the real. It's not her fault. It's her environment where she grew up. Just like she said, she would want to be in that environment. And that type of environment and them type of schooling, they're not teaching them to type of kids that type of stuff. We learned that because we had great people teaching us that. Our ancestors and people on the street that taught us what was really going on. If she don't even look old enough to know nothing, let's keep it 1,000. I'm sorry. I don't know how old you are, Lily, but you don't look old. You look hella young. You look hella young. So you wouldn't understand the concept of like Oscarville or people going to Chicago and all these black people owning stuff. Like, you wouldn't understand the dynamics of what was really going on back then because you weren't never taught that. And to your head, it's not real because you didn't see it, which is cool. Like you said, you got on here and the first thing you said was, calm down, niggas. It's okay. Like, it didn't offend me, but I need you to understand, like, what is that doing for you? What are you cool now? Are you regular? Like, are you just saying that because now I got freedom of speech, I can just say that because I say that? Like, I'm not going to call you nothing to disrespect you. What if I just kept calling you the B word? The S word? The W word? What if I just kept calling you disrespectful words? It's freedom of speech, I can say that. I don't know what you do with your life. That just sounds disrespectful. So, yeah, it's okay because I got freedom of speech, I can say that. And you can get mad all you want because that's what you're allowed to do. Just like you can say that to me and I can react how I want to react. But if I don't give you a reaction that you're looking for, and then I give you you get an uprising out of me, so who's in the wrong? See what I'm saying? Now explain to like, you're like, well, nah, it's not the same. Well, we are being disrespectful at the end of the day is what it's being. So color has nothing to do with it because you can have your friend call you all of them disrespectful words too, and I'm pretty sure it would still hurt. It's not going to hurt just because it came from me, a black person. It might hurt a little less because you're not going to think of me nothing. You've already said it. So let me ask, like, why does color have to play an actual factor? What is the black people and their EBT? None of this has. I don't look at this as a color situation. I want you to understand that. Color don't. Give that lady her money. I want you to understand. I'm confused because you're representing something because you're saying it's freedom of speech, but I just want to know what a hate crime is. Because again, if it's okay to call people that and it's not a hate crime, why is it a hate crime to do certain things to other people? Other ethnicities have a hate crime. And you get in trouble for doing these things. So I understand. You don't gotta my eyes is open. I'm not an ignorant person. I understand. I know the system. I know how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be suppressed, and you ain't gotta tell me. I know. But the people through the loopholes, like the regular people who be making money, like the regular schmegular people who go to day-to-day jobs, but they live in nice houses, and they work hard, and they don't get their time off like they want to. Like, how did you feel me? Because we know how the owners and the business people and those people, well, I started this on my garage. No, though. You might have. Elon Musk and all them people, bro, yeah, fool me with that. Fool me once, shame on me. There's a lot of stuff that's going on here that people either partaking in or not partaking in. And if you partake in it, then you just partake in it, and then you get what you get. If you don't partake in it, and you just gonna have to work a little bit harder. That's all I'm gonna say.
Facing commentary.
Absolutely. I mean, if you go through some of the comments on either of them, you have White Lives Matter on one side, and like suggestions that the teenage boy who was stabbed was somehow like a manifestation of white supremacy, and it seems to be just a fight at a track meet that has nothing to do with racial hostility in the first place. And the poor father of this young man who died too said, please don't make this into a racial issue.
Because he's a cuck.
His own Give Send Go campaign, there are comments after comment saying,
see what I'm saying? Like, why do you feel like, one, that's weird to even call a man that? That's crazy. Two, he clearly understands that it's not about an African American boy who took his son's life. It wasn't about that. It was literally about two teenage boys who had their testosterone going through the roof, and one thought they were bigger than the other. Well, and in all their head, I'm bigger than you. Well, I'm bigger than you. Well, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this. Well, you go ahead and try, see what happens. That's all this was. A chest out match. And again, like I said, we didn't expect it. Someone got deflated. Should have been two men, two boys, handling like two boys. Until somebody came and pulled them apart. That's how things were resolved. You call his father a disrespectful word, like I said, and I didn't even know. Like, so when if somebody called you these things? It's cool. It's not going to offend you. Because at this point, I'm starting to think that, call me. I want to know what can we have a sit down? Can I have a sit down with you? Lilly, can I have a sit down with you? Because at this point, you got me intrigued. I'm going to keep it 1,000. Because, the way you just don't give, no F's, none of whatsoever. What do you do? Like, how do you, like, nothing, like, what's your sign? You don't care about nothing. Nothing.
This is White Lives Matter. We're avenging against Carmelo Anthony's family. I mean, on all ends, this is ugly. I think that it's really co-opting the charity and giving community. I mean, I feel bad for the fundraising platforms because I don't think this was the.
Yeah, we're all happy, okay? Everybody's happily giving their money. The fundraiser is happy to make a little bit of money off this. We're all happy. The only people who have a problem with this are these people. Who has a problem with this? And again, it's like they're manipulating people. Just what? Again, these people are freely, I gave some money to it. Basically, everybody I know gave some money. None of us were forced to do that. None of us had to do that. We wanted to do that. That's what they're pissed off about because it's whites wanting to stand together with other white people. That's what they're mad about. It's not about the money. It's not about the principle. That's what they're mad about, is white unity.
I'm not mad at y'all white unity. Again, if y'all want to stand up, stand the fuck up. Y'all want to rail out white power, stand the fuck up. I don't know what that does, in all honesty. I don't know what you're going to get or what you're looking for out of it. I mean, I understand unity. Queen Latifah, UNITY, unity. You feel me? I just don't understand why you want to be acknowledged for it. What are you being acknowledged for? Like, I thought people wanted to be acknowledged for something positive. What are you guys standing up for and doing something positive about? What are you guys doing? You can't just say we're standing together for this little boy. Y'all should have been doing that forever ago. Forever ago. Way forever ago. This little boy gets stabbed and now all of a sudden just magically everyone wants to stand together? For what? I'm confused. What are you standing together for? Listen, why y'all ain't standing together when there's been all these police officers, these Caucasian police officers be killed? When they go out to save and protect. This is a kid who didn't even get to live his life. But there's police officers and firefighters and there's people who sacrifice their life every day. And y'all didn't want to stand unite when these people... Listen, you know what I see y'all stand for? And it might be just because I live in Arizona. Y'all will run every year for Pat Tillman. Y'all will get together for Pat Tillman. That man lost his life in war. Rest in peace, Pat Tillman. Y'all will get together and have that run for him every year, that Pat Tillman run. But y'all don't want to get together for certain, like, what do you... That's all I'm saying. Like, if y'all wanted to stand up for some unity, y'all should have been doing that forever ago. Cause then once we realize that's what y'all really gonna do, then you're going to do something that you don't want to do. Because at the end of the day, no disrespect, when I say this, I need you to understand, you've already said it, that this is your country, this is your land. I don't know what history book you picked that up and learned that from. I'd love to read it with you, because I got some textbooks and things I can show you too. But what I'm asking you is this. Why do you think that we care about what this white lady is getting? Alleviate them comments. Do you know how many people are on this world? In this world. And you worried about some comments and people faking and just... Don't nobody really care. I ain't never put one of them comments up there. I don't know nobody who paid you or put a comment up there. I'm cool for you. You and your friends decided to donate. Kudos. I don't know a person who's put a comment, donated, nor cared. Because you know why? My circle really got real life stuff to think about other than a little boy and a little boy having testosterone issues. Like I said, if it was that serious, why aren't y'all talking about the little black girl and the little white girl or the two black girls, whoever that just got stabbed right after that? It's not that serious. I'm starting to feel like you part of this. What are they doing in Tar? Like, are you part of the setup too at this point? I'm just saying, because you sound like you part of the shenanigans too, just for you to be on here so people can look at your goof ass so we ain't got to look at your guitar. I'm just saying. Because that's what it seemed like, bruh.
Intention originally, but unfortunately I think that people are really starting to take over good intents and the charity industrial complex to make it into a victim industrial complex, and it's really sad to see.
Well, we're going to have one of the founders of the Give, Send, Go site a little later in the programme. But Mark Lamont Hill, you were shaking your head there. I mean, what's your take on this?
There are a couple of things that were said that I think are really interesting and important. One, there is an outside audience of people who are watching all of this and opportunistically using it for their own agendas and projects. You know, I have an investment in believing X, so I'm going to jump in the comments of this GoFundMe, etc. I have an investment in Y. I'm going to do the same thing.
Oh, he's a comment warrior. I have a duty to be in the comments. I have a duty. You do your duty, soldier. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Negro. I'm like, oh, fuck. Here we go. Here we go.
Again, I'm his color, and I'm sorry, y'all. I don't care what them comments say, bruh. I don't. And I realize, like I said, I'm starting to feel like you a plant too, because you saying it, it's like you don't, like, not even me personally, like I said, it don't make me uprise me, get me mad, no nothing. But I know it's a woman out there that want to strangle you. So you feel safe. I want to ask you this, honestly. Look in the camera when you say this. We gonna zoom in a little bit. Right here. Honestly. You feel safe. You got to. You gotta feel safe. Trump wasn't safe. 6ix9ine wasn't safe. Tupac wasn't safe. Biggie wasn't safe. Boy from the Migos wasn't safe. Elvis isn't safe. All I'm saying is this, lady. You're not safe. Do you understand that? Do you not get that? You're not safe. Someone's going to see you eventually. Did you ever think about that? No? I didn't think so. Most people don't. We don't get that far. We don't be caring, that's why. But I want to let you know that, lady, you keep thinking that it's this jokey. Damn, Cameron died. I guess we just gonna get voice and no visual. So, you keep thinking that you, this shit hella funny. In all honesty, bro, it's really not. But the funny part about it is, I feel like you do this to get a rise out of people, for real. Like, you don't really care. You just doing this to get a rise out of somebody. And what if you don't get a rise out of a person like me? Then what?
But what I don't want to do is compare these two things as if they're opposite sides of the same coin. For me, the intention of the campaign matters. In the case of this woman who is using the N-word, the woman isn't disputing using the N-word. The woman isn't disputing being racist. And the comments that are being left on the site before they were suspended, and the attitudes behind it, weren't saying she's being railroaded, she's being misrepresented. They were simply saying, we support racism. And I think that's disgusting.
Correct.
On the other hand, the people who are fundraising for Carmelo Anthony, the argument here isn't, yeah, we did something and we don't care, like the other woman. The argument is, we're being misrepresented here. We're being railroaded. This was a self-defense claim. This is not an act of violence. This isn't first-degree murder. I'm saying what they're saying. This isn't my argument. They're saying this is a first-degree murder claim that is wrong. This is actually self-defense, and we need the money to make sure that we get a fair trial. I think
He's trying to say that the Carmelo Anthony is justified. Like, they're raising money for Carmelo Anthony because he needs it for legal funds. Shiloh Hendricks, you have investigators and you have activist groups trying to get an active investigation. They're trying to get her arrested. They're trying to have CPS take away her kids. You don't think she needs legal funds? But he's just trying to say that, oh, she just wants it to go out to lunch. She just wants it to get Louis Vuitton bags. No, sir, that's actually what your people do when they cash in their EBT money, okay? That's what they do. White people, Shiloh needs it literally for legal reasons.
You said it. Now I'm curious. Just curious. Y'all, who get enough EBT to sell to buy some Louis? Cause I never met a person you get that much food stamps where you can go to the Louis store after? Bruh, ain't no, listen, bruh. Listen here, man. I don't know what you think people getting food stamps. Or maybe it's the state you in. Like I said, I don't know where you are. But I know for a guaranteed fact, I've never in my life of living, never met an African American who had food stamps, who can sell their food stamps and still be able to buy anything at all luxurious. I've never met someone. Never. In the 34 years of me being an African American, sir, I've never met any race, not white, not black, not Mexican, not Hawaiian, not Tongan, not Filipino, not Asian. I've never met any ethnicity with enough food stamps with the EBT card, the Eat Big Tonight card, to be able to go to a Gucci store, a Louis store, a Rolex store, at any of those things, a high-end store. I've never met nor seen one. So again, with New York and California being the highest two places to live in America, where do you see African Americans using their EBT card to buy things at the luxurious store? Please let me know, because obviously I'm doing something wrong. Obviously.
And so whether you agree with his argument or not, I think raising money for a fair trial is different than raising money for a racist.
I mean, I think the common theme between the two, and this is not to pass any view about it at this stage, although I have strong views about it, I guess the common theme is that both of them say that as a result of all the publicity, they've been doxxed and had all their personal details put everywhere on social media, which is, of course, the modern scourge which gets involved. And as a result, they've had death threats and they have security issues and they have to move home and so on. You know, I understand that part of the argument. You know, when you're at the center of a firestorm in America and you're not used to public attention, then the levels of intimidation, threats and so on that can come your way can be extremely intimidating, if not outright dangerous. So it's different really to taking a view about either of the cases, to simply say that the commonality is that they both, I think, have said in defending the amounts that have been raised is, well, we have to defend ourselves. Either, as you're putting it, through the courts, but also in his case, the alleged killer, that he has also, I think, had direct threats against him. And in the case of the mother using the M-word in that despicable manner, she has said she's had a lot of threats too.
My quick response to that would just be, let's assume everybody's telling the truth.
By the way, quick note here. Pierce never cut off the black guy. He was able to speak and talk and actually had a ton of time. I mean, if you can't tell, I was about to fall asleep during the first part. Myron's about to go to sleep. This broad, I mean, I don't know what's going on in there.
See what I'm saying? You called her a broad. That's disrespectful stuff.
But he's got plenty of time to talk. When I start to speak, if you'll notice, they keep cutting me off. Like I said, I never got to complete an entire thought. He just wanted me to say the one thing that he could clip up, paraphrase, and then parrot it back as something I didn't even mean. But this is what these losers do. When they know they're actually losing and they're on the wrong side of the argument, they gotta twist your words up. And they can't let you talk. That's why he won't host people like NF. Okay, I can't say his name here either, because YouTube is gay.
Let's assume she's telling the truth and he's telling the truth. If he's telling the truth and he was doing self-defense and he's getting harassed and doxxed, and of course we already know lies have been told about his GoFundMe campaign saying they were spending it on mansions and cars, all the kind of racist tropes.
They were.
If that's true, he's being mistreated, and I think that's a sort of very.
Oh yeah, we should just, let's lay out the red carpet for murderers, shall we? Let's do that, actually. You know, we shouldn't be mistreating people who literally admitted to murdering someone else. That's what his argument is. Like, the worst kind of blacks are the ones who think they're smart. They really are worse. I'll take a hood black over this kind.
Easy case to make. When it comes to her, however, let's...
What the fuck is a hood black? See what I'm saying? Like, this is what I mean by that. Cause like I know some Caucasians, and I know some African Americans, and what I'm saying is, excuse me, y'all. I know some black people who are very intelligent. They're very intelligent. And they came from the hood. So I don't know, you're just saying that people from the hood are more intelligent, or you're saying they're just more not intelligent, I guess I would say that, because I'm confused. Are you saying that people from the hood have a lower IQ and you're okay with that? I'm confused. What do you mean by that?
She's also telling the truth. That she used the word, she thinks the kid was acting like one. She feels like she has the right to use that word against that small baby because of whatever age-appropriate thing the kid did. If she's telling the truth...
Oh, now he's a baby. See the narrative they're crafting? He's autistic and he's a baby. She was just sitting here beating up on a baby. No, he's not. He's at least 8. I'm not buying the autistic thing for a second. But they're just like running. That's just like now fact. It's just a fact now that he's autistic and and an infant now as well.
And she's getting doxxed and harassed. I don't know if I want to reward her behavior with $500,000.
I ain't gonna lie, Lily. I can tell you've never been around anyone autistic. I can tell. It shows. And not to be funny, don't ever have a kid. And if you do, God bless. Because I don't think people like you understand there's a spectrum of autism. And quite frankly, not to be honest, I mean to be rude, I said to be honest, not to be rude. You might fucking got some autism. Or some ADHD. I'm confused. Like, what do you got going on here? Because what do you think you got? What are you doing?
I don't think she should be doxxed. I don't think she should be harassed. I think she has been mistreated to the extent that no one should be. You have a right to be racist. You have a right to free speech in this country.
Right.
But I'm not donating money for it, and I feel a lot worse about her.
Right. See what I'm saying? There you go. Be racist. Don't support it. That's you. Do your Dougie. Don't nobody care. End it right there. Should nobody have nothing else to say? This should be the end of the show. But it's not. We still gotta watch it and see what the hell going on. It's crazy.
GoFundMe than the one for the person who's been railroaded.
Yeah, well, Lilly Gaddis, you posted a defense of Shiloh on X. It's been viewed 2.5 million times.
Base
in which,
W.
It was entitled "White People Are Finally Fighting Back. Stand with Shiloh Hendricks." What did you mean by that? Tax day has passed, but for millions of Americans, that's where the trouble begins.
See, they're cutting me off
Picking up in
again.
those who missed the April.
Here's the thing: white people have been under attack.
Threatening letters and surprise levies before they escalate.
Whatever. We're gonna have to listen to his gay ad.
1,000.
By the way, I saw him pre-recording his ads before we
That's TN.
before we went on. He was pre-recording his ads before we went on, and he kept having to retake it over and over, like, take. It's gonna be sucks even that. Here's the thing: white people have been under attack for years. It's been systematic racism. As much as black people and people of color want to talk about systematic racism in the United States, it's quite the opposite. They get preferential treatment when it comes to getting a job, when it comes to getting into colleges. White people, on the other hand, have been getting attacked relentlessly. Look at 2016 and BLM and all the riots. We just had to sit back and watch people burn down our cities and do nothing about it. So the way to fight back against...
Lilly, in 2016, and when Black Lives Mattered, I just want to let you know, 1, all lives mattered. 2, if you remember during the pandemic, even your people, as much as you don't want to acknowledge it, even your people, everybody went and spent that money right back into the economy, and everything got fixed. Did you not realize that's what they were doing? Oh, you didn't pick that up? You're too busy handling something for them right now for guitar, huh? Because you didn't even... my bad. Shh, let me...
Essentially, this anti-white hatred that's been systemically, ingrained in U.S. society is with white unity. We don't see white unity on...
Hang on. Okay, but hang on. Sorry, just to be clear, this has got nothing to do with anything you just said. This is a disgusting, racist woman who repeatedly spews the N-word, first at a young child, and then at the person taking the video of her, does it with complete impunity, does it numerous times. We are talking about a bona fide, unquestionable racist. And so I don't understand why what you've just said to me bears any relation to white unity or anything you've just said. She's just a racist. It
literally has everything to do with white unity. The whole thing you're debating is, should she be making money off this? And white people seem to have the consensus that yes, when we want to donate to her. So it literally has everything to do with that. He just had to cut me off because I was spitting facts.
Isn't she? You wouldn't dispute that.
It's not about her. It's not about her. It's about
it is about her.
Coming together and supporting another white person, and it doesn't matter.
Why would you want to support?
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech country.
No, that's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. Would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
Hmm? I do, quite frequently.
You use the N-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist. Are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist. I'm a neo-Nazi.
Yeah, but if you use the N-word repeatedly, you are a racist, then, are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter. That's a different.
Sorry, but just to be clear, you just said to me you use the N-word regularly. In what context? Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate to use the N-word?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed racist.
Correct.
Well, do you understand that makes you a despicable human being?
I guess so. I don't really care. I mean, why are we not talking about Shiloh Hendricks? Why are we talking about?
Well, actually, I think you've moved it on in this debate very quickly to your own racism, which explains why you've supported her in public and why you've got all these views. You see no problem with a woman shrieking the N-word repeatedly because you yourself are a despicable racist, and you've just proudly admitted that with a smug grin on your face, which is pretty horrifying, actually, for most people to have to watch.
Horrifying.
Shame on you. You're entitled to do it, and I'm entitled to call you despicable.
Well, shame on white people for allowing themselves to be systematically discriminated against in the United States. This is...
See, and then when you say that, and then that's where the confusion for me is, because I don't know if I'm considered a smart black person or a hood black person, because you're saying that you should be put in the system and you should be able to say nigga freely whenever you want. So what I'm asking you again is, whenever I see you, I should just be able to call you anything that you're not, and you shouldn't have a problem with it. That's all I'm asking. So, with you saying yes, you can't get offended ever in life if a man walk up, hey, you feel me, and that's just what he call you. You can't tell him, you don't turn around and say, hey, don't call me that. It's freedom of speech. I can call you whatever I want. No, you don't call me that. Well, that's the same thing. So I don't understand. What is the difference? I'm not flipping the scenario. I'm just asking you, if you're saying it's okay to do that, and I've already accepted the fact that you can say the shit in front of me, I don't give a fuck, like I said. But when somebody starts disrespecting you, is it okay? Can I disrespect you? Can your dude disrespect you? Can your child disrespect you? That's what I'm asking you. And if you say no, then technically, then that's where I have the problem, because then that goes back and it falls under freedom of speech. So that means that you will allow anyone in the world to disrespect you. You're accepting disrespect anywhere in the world because it's freedom of speech. You will accept disrespect and will be called things that you are not accepted, and let people talk to you any kind of way because it's freedom of speech. That's what you're telling me. Come to my show,
Our
Lilly.
country. This is a country that should be...
What do you mean your country?
Because I'm white and my...
What, there are no black people in American history? Is that what you're saying? That they've all just landed in America, invading your white country? Is that your position?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they were brought here technically.
My God, do you understand how dumb you sound?
This is stupid.
And again, Lilly, being honest, if we was brought here, since you said that, show me something that says that we were brought here. Don't show me the movie Roots. I want you to take me to a museum that you know of personally that shows a boat that we rode on. Because I've been to the museum. And you know what racism started over? Lilly, let's break it down to you real quick, even though I know you can't see me. I'm gonna talk to you for 2.2 seconds. Honey, white people were from the Caucasus Mountains in Italy. That's where you guys came from. I don't know if you knew that or not. You guys weren't in America. You guys were not on this land. You guys were in Italy. You guys were in the Caucasus Mountains. Hence why you guys named them the Caucasus Mountains, because you guys are Caucasians. You see how that goes together? Now follow me, because I know it's still kind of hard for you to understand. There are no ships. Not one I've ever seen. They barely didn't found Noah's Ark. Slavery was 300 years ago. Noah's Ark was 300 BC. So you're not making it make sense. 2. This is not your land, honey, because you're white. It's not. And then you say, we brought you here on a boat. What's crazy is racism started because white people sat at that table with their wives, eating that food that you guys had at that dinner table that your mother serves you, and it tastes like crap. It had no flavor. It had no seasonings. So somebody said, you know what? This ain't gonna cut it. Martha May, Mary Beth. I think I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna get on the boat, right? And we gonna figure out what the rest of the world, if there's people out here, what they eat and what they got that has different flavors and what they're eating in the world. Because what you serving me, it's not. I'm tired of eating the same thing over and over again, and it has a bland flavor. That's where racism started. That's where slavery came from. Spices, sugars, things of that nature. Because you guys didn't have any, and your food tastes like crap. That's the God honest truth if you honestly want to know where it came from. White people, sure, you were here. We were here together. We came to this place together. Do you know why? Because you brought us on a quote unquote boat together. Why would you only have 20 white people and 100, 300, 700 black folks? Why would you have more black folks to outnumber you in guns? That doesn't make sense. Back then, you could only shoot one bullet at a time. So listen, I'm pretty sure one black person's gonna take that one bullet and then they would trample that one white person. That doesn't sound logical. Now does it? No. I need you to understand something, honey. When we came on them quote unquote boats with you white people and black people, there were already people here. Hence the Native Americans. Hence the smallpox. Hence all these things that you know in your history that you just want to deny. Because what? You guys were not from here, honey. You're from the Caucasus Mountains.
This is stupid and racist, and at some point we have to ask ourselves, do we want to reward this kind of disgusting behavior by platforming?
I don't disagree, Mark. Listen, I didn't know she was going to say that. I don't disagree with you.
No. Yeah. I'm with you. I don't think you knew ahead of time. I'm saying at this moment, someone who's saying technically black people brought up. No, technically Africans were stolen, enslaved, and they built this country. And the idea that you can justify calling a baby...
Dude, I was this close to going off on the Jays, okay? I was like, actually, the Jays brought them here against our will, okay? But by the way, W me, okay? I totally took the W on this one.
See what I'm saying? I'm confused. Because do you know where people actually came from, honey? Because it seems like you only know 8th grade, 9th grade, high school textbook. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that goes back to what you said. You only like people from the hood. That's because you probably have the same IQ as them. A very low one. You might take that offensive, but I'm kind of serious because do you not want to talk to an intelligent person? The color has nothing to do with it. You, again, like I said, you be putting race into it. Like, we know you racism, cool, whatever. If you talk to somebody with a covered up voice and they had the same views as a black person and you found out they were white, would you feel confused? Would you be mind blown? Or would you just feel like they're going against their people? Because at the end of the day, these are just their beliefs. Just like how you believe what you believe. There's nothing wrong with what you believe in. There's just a lot of white people too who honestly feel like you're doing wrong, which is their belief, which there's nothing wrong with that. And then you have a lot of people who believe what you're doing is correct, which is nothing wrong with it. I just want you to understand that you're kind of causing the division between people for no reason. And it was already secretly one there. So now you're bringing it to a head. There's no reason to bring color to a head. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be honest. White people are always going to be ahead of colored people. That's just what it's going to be. To the end of time. You've created a system that's going to keep us down. And you personally don't know anything or how to even help the system other than be a puppet than what you're doing right now. I'm just being a puppet. It's because I like to say this word and it grabs people's attention. and I know I can make people look at me. That's it. That's all it's doing. You just want to be seen. You want to be seen so bad, go join the Freemasons. You want to be seen so bad, be a Mason. And don't go past the 33rd rank. Go up higher. If you know, you know. You want to be seen so bad, be a Mason. Come on, find one. Tell them to join. You want to join? Because at this point, you doing this for clout. You're not doing this to defend nobody. This is just to look at this while I do this because something over here going on. So I'm doing this for clout. That's what you're doing it for. Because you think everything is funny. Like, so I can tell, I can laugh with you, but like I said, it's crazy because I can't take you seriously. Like, I want to, but I can tell you don't. So this isn't serious to me. It's just crazy.
The N-word by saying that white people are losing the country is absurd. It's morally bankrupt, and it's honestly besides the point. I mean, all these are just distractions from the fact that she wants to justify dehumanizing and even animalizing a small black child.
I do want to say something else before they continue. The Great Depression. Y'all don't want to talk about the Great Depression. Why not? How come? What happened? Didn't the whole world go broke? Matter of fact, if my memory serves me correct, didn't white people go broke, Lilly? Oh, we weren't born then, so it don't affect us. Is that what you're trying to say? It don't matter. I'm just curious, Lilly. You answer it. And when the Great Depression happened, didn't y'all go broke? Who has some money? When the Great Depression happened and y'all went broke and y'all thought y'all was doing the right thing, signing all these bills and doing all these things, who has some money? Who? Who helped your grandparents out?
It's disgusting.
What is it?
Yeah, I never said that.
No, but you may as well have done because you're just an unashamed.
That's the implication of your
racist. Let me bring in Myron Gaines because you've been.
See, I love how they do this. I'm just like, yeah, I say the N-word, and if saying the N-word equates to I'm a horrible, despicable racist, then okay, sure. Then they turn it all around and make it like I'm dehumanizing them, like I see them as animals. I never said that. I might believe in a hierarchy. And I explain this a little bit later. But do you see what they do here? Do they see what they do here? While they're saying I'm dehumanizing people, they're actually dehumanizing me. This is why they have no problem interrupting me every 5 seconds. I could never get a sentence out. I could never get a full thought out, even though the black guy, his time is respected. Everybody else's time is respected. Heaven knows the blonde chick, her time gets respected. But my time doesn't get respected because I'm not a human, because I have the wrong opinions. And I'm not going to back down to you.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I was going to keep letting you talk, but you said it, and since you said it, it made me feel like I can do this. Do you realize that it's only 2 brown people in this whole panel? 2. And he respected everyone except you. So clearly, he don't give a about the color. He has something wrong with what you said. It's what you said that made him stop you and cut you off. If they would have said some obnoxious things, he probably would have cut them off too. Look what you said and how you, like, bruh, come on now. That's why he cut you off. You call old girl broad while we watching this video. Like, you don't have any respect for anyone. Like I said, how can somebody take you serious? When if they ran back and then seen how you did this? Like, you just don't have respect for humans whatsoever. We not even finna play race at this point. Like, you just don't care about nobody but yourself. Because like I said, why you disrespect her? Why you disrespect the little boy's dad for dying? Like, you're disrespecting everybody. It's crazy. You disrespecting everyone. So, like, man.
You, because I don't care if you're Piers Morgan. You're an old man, okay? You're an old man. Nobody cares what you have to say, dude. Your boomer generation and your politically correct BS, That's so last season, okay? Young people are done with that. We don't care. So enjoy your heyday in the sun, Pierce, because it's coming to an end.
Smirking and laughing.
And that goes back to what she said. She sadly doesn't understand. These heydays in the old SB, some of them things gonna stay. You know why? Because they're made to stay. There's not enough people like you to change it. There's way many more of them than you. So I don't care when you stand up and you think you finna. No, lady, that's what we're trying to say. The world's not gonna work, and it's not gonna be a whole bunch of you rising up and let's stand by ourselves and stop getting bullied. That ain't finna happen. I understand you might think, you might feel, people can stand up and do that, and y'all might be reunited, but it ain't finna happen. Like I said, do you understand how many people there are in the world versus this percentage of people you want to stand up and be united? It's not gonna work, honey. You're outnumbered. You're outnumbered. Caucasian people versus everyone in the galaxy, you're outnumbered. Why would you even want to stem something like that in the world or feel like it's okay? That's not. Every race in the world versus Caucasian would be an atrocity. Us alone versus China is an atrocity. A tragedy. Like, what makes you... And then not let's factor in that there's so many people in this world now in 2025 who have mixed parents. Where are they supposed to go? Where do they fall under? You're gonna make them decide? That's disrespectful. They don't know any better. All they know is they parents. You can't blame them parents for falling in love and having a child. Don't blame the parents. Don't say, oh, it's their fault. Your parents fell in love and they just happen to be the same race. In all honesty, what's crazy is one's probably Irish, one's probably Caucasian. And those are two different places. But they're white. No, but I'm saying if you knew your history, if you knew any better, you would understand. But you don't care. You ain't picked up a textbook and you don't know how long. Only thing you pick up is text. Goofy.
What's funny about any of this?
Well, I mean, I find it interesting that you guys want to virtue signal and, you know, wag the finger and say she's a racist and everything else like this.
So she admits she's a racist.
Well, let me
I'm not wagging a finger at anybody.
She's
I don't need to
self-identified as a racist.
But Myron, with respect, Myron, I don't need to wag a finger when somebody says, yeah, I'm racist, I use the N-word against black people, I don't care. That's a racist. I'm not wagging any finger. I'm not accusing anybody. She is admitting it proudly. Even you can't defend that, surely.
Everybody is racist to some degree. The reality is it depends on, a lot of people want to be politically correct. A lot of people want to sit there and say, I'm not racist at all. We all have biases. We all have stereotypes. We all make jokes. We all are racist to some degree. Now, how racist you are is a whole other situation, but everyone is racist. That's number one. Next thing I want to say, see, I think this Shiloh, Hendrickson, Metcalf situation is a microcosm of a much bigger problem. And that bigger problem is what I call systemic organized. And what I mean by this is for decades, we've had black people literally running around with black supremacy, committing crimes, not getting accountability for their actions, and then they blame the system for it. For example, George Floyd, criminal. Ferguson, criminals. Freddie Gray, criminal. A lot of these people are criminals, and what ends up happening is they challenge the police officer, they get into a physical altercation, things go left, they die, something happens, use of force is utilized, and then they want to cry about the result. When in reality, it's not the police killing black people, it's black people killing black people. And if you want to talk about black on white violence, black people kill white people 2 times as much. And on top of that, most of the shootings in America, a lot of the times, are white people killing, white cops killing other unarmed white men. So this whole systemic racism or police brutality, or, oh, it's all so messed up, the reality is this. Black people have been able to get away with a ridiculous amount of privilege in America for a very long time. They're able to be racist with impunity. They're able to call white people crackers without being challenged back. And quite frankly, white America's had enough of it. and the chickens have come to roost. Now, look, am I saying that's awesome? Am I saying that's great? No, but for literally the better part of almost 2 decades since the Obama era, we've had to have BLM and liberalism shut.
All right, he said it. I was gonna keep him, let him go. I just want to say something. Black people, if you do call white people cracker, I want to let you know right now, that does not mean white person. It means the person who used to crack the whip and smack your back. If you call them cracker, it is because they used to crack their whips and whack your back. Stop calling them cracker unless you want to hear that whoosh, and they start smacking your back. That's what cracker means, if you didn't know. It doesn't mean saltine white cracker. It means that they had that whip, and when they used to walk around, they'd be like, oh, cracker's coming, because he used to whoosh. That's where that came from. Sadly enough. It doesn't mean white saltine cracker or white person. Stop calling them cracker.
Up down our throats, and quite frankly, we're all tired of it.
Right, but just to be clear, you would have no problem with one member of this panel openly saying she uses the M-word at black people with impunity and is proud of it.
Literally, who cares, dude? Who cares? Imagine derailing the most viral story in America right now is this Shiloh Hendricks story, and all he wants to talk about is the fact that I say the N-word. Like, Piers Morgan, I thought you ran a serious show, and this is what you're doing? You want to derail the whole conversation and just talk about that? He literally doesn't even want to talk about the Shiloh Hendricks situation because he knows he's going to lose. He knows he's wrong.
Being a racist. You have no problem with that?
My worldview on the protection of the First Amendment and freedom of speech overrides my personal feelings. She has the right to say
That's
it.
fine. You can support the First Amendment, but you can also have a personal view about what she said.
My feelings are irrelevant. The Constitution is the Constitution. That's what matters.
Oh, that's fascinating. Hold on. So when it comes to chastising black Americans about crackers, as you say, about their complaints about the racist system, you can levy a judgment against black Americans.
I ain't gonna lie, I want to cut it off because he said something that makes me wonder. In the Declaration of Independence, we're allowed to bear arms. Y'all put that. I don't remember where y'all decided or how y'all decided that felons can't bear arms. That just doesn't make sense because it doesn't say that in the Declaration of Independence, that it definitely says you're allowed to bear arms. It didn't say that if they get in trouble that they're no longer allowed to bear. Because I'm pretty sure that back in the day, cowboys used to bear arms after they became felons, and they didn't get in trouble for it. So I'm trying to figure out how y'all went from letting cowboys bear arms as felons to waking up one morning like, you know what? We need to change this. For what? For why? Because of the black people? To give them more control? To control them? Let them get something and then mess it up, and then we're going to figure out how to take it away from them? That's what this be about. For real.
For all the things they do, but when it comes to this woman saying the N-word, and this other woman endorsing it and saying that she herself uses the N-word, now all of a sudden we can only talk about the Constitution and the legal right. We can't offer any moral judgment against it. That's disingenuous, and it's as the only black American up here, that's quite frustrating to hear.
If you want to
I feel like it's disingenuous to not give me a gun back because I'm a felon.
be soft and get offended by that, that's your fucking problem, not mine.
Let me ask Ricky.
We're not even.
Let me ask Ricky. Ricky,
this isn't about being soft any more than when you were desperately saving these white people.
Hold on. This sensitive nature that you have is precisely why we have this problem.
It's not about being sensitive. It's about I didn't.
I ain't gonna lie, he is kind of right. It is kind of right. He is kind of acting like a little sensitive motherfucker.
I didn't articulate. Hold on. Let me finish, Myron. Let me speak, and then I'll let you respond. Myron, I didn't articulate any sensitivity here. What I said, in the same way that you levied a judgment against black people, I'm levying one against the claims you're making. I'm no more sensitive than you were when you made your claim. I'm simply saying I disagree with you. And to immediately jump to you're being sensitive is just a distraction. I'm making an argument. Just respond to my argument.
If you're struggling with sleepless nights and exhausting days, you might want to try Beam's Dream Powder. So go to shopbeam.com/peers, P-I-E-R-S, and use promo code PEERS.
Now, and my argument to respond to that is this. Political correctness, liberalism, and making sure that we are politically correct and don't use certain words to offend people is precisely why we're in the situation that we're in. For decades, we've had to literally tiptoe around saying certain things around certain people, while the other group of people has been able to have impunity and be able to be as racist as they want to be, as violent as they want to be, without any type of consequence. And if you call it out, you're labeled a racist. The reality is this. Black people don't want to live around black people. I don't want to live around a bunch of black people. I move to neighborhoods where it's majority white because I know I'm safe. Now, this is uncomfortable reality that no one wants to say, so I'll say it for them. Black people commit a lot of crimes. The majority of the violent crime committed in the United States is committed by a small percentage of people, and they tend to be black men. Look, the reality is the reality. People don't want to say it, but the political correctness and being nice and not wanting to tell the truth is precisely this problem. And the reason why you're seeing all the support for Metcalf and Shiloh, etc., is because white people have not been able to step up and say what they want to say for a very long time because of what I said before, systemic, organized, where they don't take accountability for their
All right, let me
decisions.
bring in Ricky to respond. Ricky.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to say that I agree that virtue signaling
Be prepared for a really hot take.
went too far, that political correctness went too far, but we're going from virtue signaling being the norm and being praised to now vice signaling being the norm and being praised. It's not just a matter of does this woman have the right to use that word. I believe that she has the right. I disagree with it. But is she now being rewarded with $500,000? Why are we rewarding people for performing vice instead of virtue? This is not healthy. This is destructive to our society. This is destructive to our social fabric, to our culture, to our ability to live with other fellow Americans. It's gross to reward someone for bad behavior. It's one thing to tolerate it, to say that she has the right to do it, but she called an autistic 5-year-old the N-word. Like, I'm sorry, but I feel like we're kind of like missing the point in the actual context. You can say that it's part of this bigger meta story of black and white America, but it actually is just like a short little clip, and you don't even know the context of it, and it's actually gross, and if we can't just say that it's gross and bad, then I don't really know where we are.
Well, I think it's interesting to me that Lilly Gaddis, you retweeted Nick Fuentes, the white supremacist, by saying he said black people just raised $500,000 for a cold-blooded killer who stabbed a white teenager to death. So I don't want to hear one word about the Shiloh Hendricks fundraiser. Either everyone gets to be tribal or nobody does. Why would you retweet that?
Because I agree with it. But we have to fight fire with fire. I mean, at some point, why are
nobody does?
Why are Jewish people allowed to be tribal? Why are black people allowed to be tribal? But as soon as white people stand up for themselves, we're labeled a racist. And by the way, you call people racist when you want them to stop talking about things.
No, I called you a racist because you admitted you were racist. Hang on. I called, just to be clear, I called you a racist because you openly, proudly admitted you're a racist. So it wasn't a question of exposing you or pointing my finger or trying to get this out of you. You proudly sat there, bold as brass, and said, yeah, I use the N-word all the time against black people. I'm a racist and I'm proud of it. That's what you did.
Racism is just having a preference. I prefer not to live around black people. I prefer not to live in a country where white people in our country are disproportionately attacked by black people. Where in my country, you can have an Austin Metcalf where he asks a guy to leave and he gets stabbed in the heart. I prefer that. That's a preference. Now, what a real racist is, in my opinion, is seeing someone as less human. I'm a Christian. I believe everyone's created in God's image. So I don't see anyone as less human. But that doesn't mean I'm not allowed to have a preference and say, I don't like what happens to be coming out of this community or that community. How is that a bad thing? How is that not just a preference?
Because you've literally made black people sound lesser humans. You don't want to live around them. You want to use the N-word in relation to them, a word that you know causes that community unbelievable offense.
Is that my fault? Is that my fault? If they have bad behavior, if they want to act in a certain way, if I have to cross the street and be afraid that maybe because of the crime statistics that are very real, by the way, is that my fault or is that their fault for having bad behavior?
That's mind-boggling to me for multiple reasons. I mean, we're talking about bad behavior. You know, we've never lynched you. We've never enslaved you.
Dude. Then I suggest you don't look up the crime stats, okay? This idea of, we've never done anything. Why on earth would people not want to live around us? Check out YouTube, check out X, check out Instagram.
But what he's trying to tell you is, and you said it, and you failed to realize it. which part was okay for your ancestors to trick a whole bunch of African Americans, put them on a boat, bring them to America, and then make them work for you? That was okay? Could you imagine right now, if Obama was like, you know what? I'm coming back in office after Trump, and then everybody that's white is a slave. And then, like, you really ain't doing nothing but getting humped on, taking care of babies, washing dishes, and, like, doing, like, and we paying you cents on the dollar. You couldn't fathom that, because the world would never be like that. They gave us cents on a dollar. You understand that? They made a bathroom for us outside. They still to this day have sundown towns. Do you understand that? Still to this day. So when you talk about what we're doing the same thing you're doing. We're both still doing it to this day. The only problem is this. We're so stupid, we get caught. You guys don't until whiles later. We both do it, Lily. Ain't no the blacks do it. Think of how many white people didn't kidnap some people? Come on, bro. Like, you sound crazy. The movie Bones. The Lovely Bones. That man was crazy. It's one of my favorite books. The Lovely Bones. That wasn't an African American male. That was one of your people. Do you see what he did to that little girl? Those little girls? What are you talking about, Lily?
Graham, type in any kind of crime, and it's your demographic that's going to pop up, okay? Black on white crime is 45 times more likely than the other way around. That's a
45. Factual, like you're gonna say. 45%. That's still not half. It's almost. It's not half. It's not more than half. So when you say we got brought here, just think about the percentages of what you guys were doing. You couldn't fathom that. You don't see that. That's what people are trying to say. Of course, it's not back in them days, so no one cares. Now the black people are standing up, and now when you stand up and they're getting it back in blood, now we're this, we're that. We're being labeled now. Just like how you're saying. We're being niggas. Do you know what breaking a buck means? Come on, Lily. Do you understand? Like, these are things that they did to humans. And you have no knowledge of any of these things. Because it's not happening right now in your eyes. Because you don't see it. But it's sad because you have glasses on that are blinding you from acknowledging that it's still happening right now. Right now. As me and you doing these, you feel me, these OBS recordings, it's happening right now. Both sides. And you just worried about, that sounds crazy. Your neighbor can be a creep and you don't even know it. Do you understand that, Lily? I've lived next to a white man, found out that he was a pedophile. Because I thought I was moving into the safe white neighborhood. The safe white neighborhood was the white man who was a pedophile. Lily. It wasn't the black man I lived next to. It was the white man who was touching on little girls and boys, kidnapping them. I thought I was safe. Lily. Moving into a white area. Lily. It's not always that way. It's not what it seems and appears to be. Just because it shimmers and shines doesn't make it a dime in fucking diamonds.
Fact, I'm sorry, it's true. And again, it's not my fault that I don't want to live around people who statistically, according to FBI crime stats, are more likely to commit a crime, burglarize my house, attack me, possibly murder me. That's not my fault. Okay, that's just... So I guess what they're saying is ignore instincts and put yourself in danger because you don't want to be racist. Sorry, I'd rather be racist and alive.
We've never done any of the deep-seated structural forms of injustice to white people that white people have done to black people, and yet to claim some kind of moral superiority in the midst of, and again, in the context of a conversation where a white woman is calling a 5-year-old autistic child the N-word, and we're talking about black people's bad behavior. This is absurd. And the idea of fighting fire with fire, again, is a dishonest argument. Just to take us back to the point here, the people who are supporting Carmelo Anthony's campaign believe that he was wrongfully charged, and they're trying to get him legal defense. The people who are defending this woman are saying, yes, we know you called the 5-year-old autistic black child the N-word, and we want more of it. We approve of it. We support it. These are not the same thing. And it's bonkers to me that we couldn't all stand and say, hey, it is wrong to call a 5-year-old autistic black child the N-word. I mean, Myron, let me just ask you that question. I think this is a yes or no question. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you think the woman was wrong to do what she did to that child in that park?
I don't approve of that, but what I will say is that it's very important to understand the entire context of what led us to this position, because again, Metcalf and Hendricks is a microcosm of a much larger problem. Earlier, we were talking about tribalism when you were mentioning Nick Fuentes' tweet. Here's the thing. Black people could be as tribal as they want to be. You have people like Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Umar Johnson running around about black power and marry black women and keep it in the hood and all this other stuff. But if white people assemble and say, you know what, white power, we need to keep our nation white, they're immediately ostracized and labeled as supremacists, and they get banned off every single platform. I find that interesting. And matter of fact, you went ahead.
Isn't that the same thing?
No, actually it is the same thing, because here's the problem with black people.
No, it's not.
Hold on, let me finish this. Black people practice the very racism they cry about. You guys can gather together and say Black Lives Matter, Black Power, but if white people get together and say white power, gather together, they're considered white supremacists, and they get banned off every single platform. Why is that Jared Taylor and Nick Fuentes are banned off every platform for practicing white nationalism, but black people are allowed to stand every single platform getting interviews on the Breakfast Club? Explain that to me. There's a two-tier situation here where black people are able to benefit off of being racist while whites are not. And what we're dealing with right now in America is literally a backlash to this black supremacy that's been able to run around unchecked for a long time, and no one has the balls to call it out. Here's the other thing I want to say. Everyone's flipping out over Shiloh Hendricks and saying the N-word.
Hey, can I respond to the point you just made, though?
No, hold on. Nobody flipped out like this when the United States was getting destroyed in 2020 because of black protests destroying every liberal city in America. So I don't want to hear it about, oh, she made $100,000 because she said the N-word. Who cares? They destroyed billions of dollars of structure because someone got killed who was a criminal. That's the problem in America. You guys get a privilege that no one else gets to enjoy. You could be racist.
Okay. All right, I have to hang on. I'm going to hold it there. We've got another guest joining us. Mark, I'll come back to you to respond to that in a moment. But we're being joined now by Jacob Wells. He's the Christian founder of the Give, Send.
All right, y'all. I don't know who this man is. I ain't gonna lie. I don't really care who he is. Y'all want to watch it? It's up there, like I said. I just thought that it was too much going on for me. Like I said, this lady, she don't give up. You feel me? And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, saying that word to me don't get me out of my place. It don't make me mad. It don't do none of that. So I honestly couldn't. I don't know, but she don't care. She don't care. But you feel me? We definitely finna get on to the next one. Like I said, it's finesse. It's on the table, y'all. We see that. Like I said, we gonna talk about any and everything. And this one right here, this lady, like I said, Lilly. If we can find you, come holla at me, jump in a DM, however, forever, because I'd love to talk to you in person. Because like I said, when the last time you picked up a textbook and not a text message? That's all I'm confused about, because you don't seem to know too much. So